This is Stories by Derek, and this one almost didn't land. In July of 1969, the entire world was watching. Hundreds of millions of people gathered around televisions, listening to radios, waiting to see if the United States could actually pull this off. Because no human had ever walked on the moon before. And one man from Ohio was about to try. But the lunar module descended towards the surface. Something went wrong. Warnings started to flash. Fuel was running out, and suddenly, the most important mission in human history was seconds away from failure. Neil Armstrong didn't grow up famous. He grew up in Ohio, quiet, focused, obsessed with flying. As a kid, he spent hours staring at airplanes overhead, wondering what it would feel like to be up there. And unlike m- most people, that fascination never faded. By the age of 16, before he even had a driver's license, Neil Armstrong already had a pilot's license. Flying wasn't just something he enjoyed, it was who he was. And the people around him noticed something early. He stayed calm, even under pressure, where others where other people got emotional. Armstrong stayed focused, measured, controlled, which eventually makes him exactly the kind of person that NASA needed. But before NASA came war. During the Korean War, Armstrong became a Navy pilot, flying combat missions at high speed, where mistakes could be fatal. Even flight carried risk, mechanical failures, enemy fire, split second decisions. And those experiences shaped him, not into something fearless, but into someone disciplined. After the war, he pushed even further, becoming a test pilot, which meant flying experimental aircraft, machines that weren't fully understood yet. After pushing aircraft to their limits, higher altitudes, higher speeds, greater danger, and this was during a time when test pilots died regularly. But Armstrong had a reputation. He didn't panic. He analyzed, he stayed calm, and solved problems in the moment. Exactly the kind of mindset NASA was searching for. Because NASA wasn't choosing astronauts, they were choosing people who could s- survive the unknown. By 1969, the pressure was enormous. The Soviet Union had shocked the world by reaching space first. The United States needed something bigger, something historic. President Kennedy had made a promise years earlier. America would land a man on the moon. Now, NASA had to deliver. And they chose Neil Armstrong to command Apollo 11. The mission seemed impossible. Over 200,000 miles from Earth. No room for major mistakes. No rescue mission if something failed. The entire world knew it. Then came launch day, July 16th, 1969. The Saturn V rocket ignited beneath them the most powerful machine ever built at the time. And slowly, Apollo 11 lifted off the Earth. Days later, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin separated from the command module inside the lunar lander known as Eagle. Now came the hardest part, landing. At first, everything seemed normal. Then alarms started going off. Computer overload warnings. Inside mission control, people scrambled to figure out what was happening. Could the computer still guide them safely? Or would they have to abort the mission? But the alarms weren't the only problem. As Armstrong looked down, the landing site wasn't safe. The area below them was covered in rocks and craters. If they landed there, the lunar module could tip over. Or worse. So Armstrong took manual control, which meant every second now mattered. And fuel was dropping fast. 60 seconds left. 30 seconds left. Inside mission control, you could feel the tension. No one knew if they were going to make it. And somehow, with seconds remaining, Armstrong found a safe place to land. After landing, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin got ready to make the most important part of this whole thing happen. Then came the silence. For a moment, the world waited, and then Neil Armstrong stepped onto the moon.
Getting back up to that first step. That isn't collapsed too far, but it's adequate to get back up.
Roger, we copy.
It's a pretty good little jump.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
Neil, we can see you coming. Okay, I just checked. Getting back up to that first step. That isn't collapsed too far, but it's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
In that moment, history changed. Not for the United States, for humanity. A kid from Ohio had just become the first human to walk on another world, our moon. But what made Neil Armstrong different wasn't fame, it wasn't ego. Even after becoming the most recognizable person on Earth, he stayed quiet, private, measured. Because for Armstrong, this mission had never been about celebrity. It was about the work, the risk, and pushing humanity further than it has ever gone before. Somehow, the journey for the quiet kid from Ohio to the surface of the moon actually happened. And if you're into stories like this, real history, real risk, and moments that change everything, make sure to hit that subscribe because there's more coming. Neil Armstrong wasn't the end of Ohio's story in space. Not even close. Because after the triumph comes something very different. A mission that turned into survival. And one of the most famous emergencies in history, Apollo 13. This has been Stories by Derek, and I'll see you in the next one.